Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Murder1, and today we got another deathmatch / FFA game on the vanilla mod. The maps we're going to get into today are Spiral and Grinder, and we're going to start out on Spiral today. What I wanted to get into for this video was talking about the weapons and the usefulness of each weapon in Quake. This is kind of just a quick overview for any new players out there, anyone interested in getting into this style of game. You know, we're hoping for a new Quake in the next couple years or so. So, you know, just want to prep you guys as to my mindset and how I use the weapons as I go through these games. In Quake, they have what is called the Holy Trinity of weapons, which is the rocket launcher, the railgun, and the lightning gun. These three guns are by far the strongest in the game, and usually in every game type you try to get 1, 2, or 3 of these guns and keep them at all times because they allow for you to fight in every situation that appears in the game, whether it's close range, mid range, high or low position, and long range across the map. So if you have all 3 of these weapons, you're good to go. Just switch between them as the variables change in your position. So the rocket is primarily used for close range to mid-ranged or close mid-ranged fights. Lightning gun is mid-ranged as well, mid to long, and then the railgun is, you know, max range across the map, pot shots, sniper shots, that kind of thing. So those are just, you know, a quick generalization of how to use these weapons, and you fluidly move through the three. So you can see when I'm playing this game, this is mainly the strategy I use. Try to always have the LG, try to get the rocket as well, and then every now and then, I'm not really a big rail guy, but you know, some maps it is necessary, so we go ahead and pick that up as well. When the opponent, another important thing to remember is depending on the weapon you're using, they each kind of counter each other. So the rocket launcher kind of counters the railgun up close. The railgun counters the rocket at max range, of course. And then the lightning gun counters the rocket launcher because the lightning gun has pushback. Meaning when you hit the opponent, it kind of gives a slight or a small pushback so that they can't just run straight at you to get in range. That's if you're hitting your shots. If you're missing with the lightning gun, yeah, then the rocket guy's just going to run upon you and shoot you with rockets, bounce you around, and kill you most likely. So that's sort of the interplay between the 3 main weapons. So off the spawn, you want to get one of those and then, you know, fill your armor in and your mega health, things of that nature, any power-ups on whatever map you're playing, that sort of thing. So that's the general baseline you should have when playing Quake. Spawn, where's the LG, where's the rocket, where's the rail. Most important, I would say, is rocket. Second most important is the LG. Third most important is the rail. But just get any one of those that you can off the spawn, and you're in the mix of basically every Quake game or arena style shooter with that strat. Now, the main focus of what I wanted to talk about in this video is the other weapons that don't get used as much and the benefits of learning how to use them. When for the last few years that I've been playing Quake 4, well, more than a few years, like 4 or 5 years, I've focused mostly on tracking weapons and using the other weapons in the game, such as the starting machine gun, shotgun, hyper blaster, nail gun, and not so much the napalm gun, but because the napalm gun is kind of scrubby, but you know, they're just using the other weapons. One of the biggest benefits to learning how to use these other weapons is the increased survival you get off the spawn. If you're a great aimer, when you spawn into the game and you're at your most vulnerable, using the machine gun and getting a lot of damage in because your aim is so good is a huge benefit, and can a lot of times catch the opponent off guard, and also will set you up so that if you get killed off the spawn, you've done a decent chunk of damage to where you can work your way back into getting control of the game. So if you die and you spawn in with the starting machine gun, you're able to do 40, 50, 60 damage. That's going to add up over time, over 2 or 3 spawns, if you don't, if you spawn back in rapidly and the opponent doesn't have enough time to go and re-up on their health and their armor. So that's one of the main benefits of learning how to use the other weapons, because a lot of times you'll get spawns that are closer to one of these other guns and not necessarily one of the big 3 or the Holy Trinity. The machine gun in Quake 4 is great for long range, great for close range as well, because it does, like I said, 4 to 5 damage per hit, and then if you zoom it in long range, you get 7 damage per hit. So learning how to master that is a huge deal. Shotgun, of course, does a ton of damage as well, and also the Hypo Blaster and the nail gun as well. They work similar to the ones in Quake Champions, if you are familiar with that game. Nail gun startup is slow, so you have to like pre-fire it to keep it charged, like kind of like the chain gun, and does a chunk of damage per nail. I think like 20 as well, from similar to Quake Champions. And you want to use that close range or for long range spamming, things of that nature. In addition to getting more damage off the spawn, increasing your survivability, and working your way back into getting control off the spawn with these lesser used weapons, you also get a lot of unexpected kills from unsuspecting opponents, because a lot of the times they're not used to fighting against anyone who uses these weapons. For 90% of the game, they're going to be fighting against people that use the rocket, the rail, and the LG. So when you master these other weapons, you sort of catch them off guard, and they'll be surprised. And to be honest, I've seen many people that fight me when I kill them with the machine gun or I kill them with the Hyper Blaster. They get really intimidated from then on, because they think you're like like an aim guy. Some of them will even say you're hacking or things of that nature, because they're so unused to anyone else playing with these weapons, or even being able to kill them ever with these other weapons. So that's just another quick tip that you can use that will work in your advantage when mastering the lesser used guns in the game. And lastly, when you master these other weapons, you become a lot more flexible. It's like each of the guns has a usage, or a preferable usage is what I'd say. And when you have all of them and you have mastered all of them, you become like a complete player. So you have a tool in your toolkit that can maximize your potential in every situation. When you have them, for example, if you're shooting the railgun and you get a hit off the spawn on your opponent, you can just switch to the machine gun long range as well and clean up the kill, instead of trying to hit a second rail, which is a million times more difficult. Also, when you're close range and you have mastered your aim on the shotgun, you can chunk damage on the opponent. Can almost be as useful as a rocket launcher, and will keep you in games that way as well. Hyper Blaster is the same thing, kind of think of it as a wacky LG. And the benefit of the Hyper Blaster as well is that it does have minor splash damage, so if your direct aim isn't good, you can just shoot it at the floor at their feet and take the lesser splash damage as opposed to the direct hit damage. You know, if the opponent is low on health and you know that, that's probably be the better way to go to guarantee some hits and get the kill. Nail gun as well is great. As I said, great up close. It bounces the player around. It also has splash damage, and so shooting the nail gun at the feet is also a valid option, as well as the increased maneuverability you get. You can do nail wall climbing, where you shoot the nail at a wall and you can climb up it. Same thing with the Hyper Blaster. You can climb walls with the Hyper Blaster as well. And of course, you know, the rocket launcher, you can do rocket jumps, things of that nature. And so yeah, just I would encourage you, if you are a Quake player, to definitely spend some time learning how to master the other weapons. What I did in my years is I'd play games where I'd just spawn in and just use a single weapon for the entire time. So I'd play a whole deathmatch game where I just use the starting machine gun, or I just use the shotgun, and you know, etc., etc. So doing that over the years will increase your aim and make you a much more deadly player overall. And there's something that I see in a lot of current players that they don't really do. They just stick to the big three to get their kills, so that you know, they do well on the scoreboard. So that's kind of it for what I wanted to talk to today. This game is coming to an end. We were able to come back significantly in this game. We were down by 11, but we're doing some work with the rocket launcher here. You know, the rocket is always your bread and butter, your go-to, so don't ever shun it. But yeah, spend some time with the other weapons and become a well-rounded Quake player. And that's pretty much gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. We win this game and come back. Guys, please like this video if you enjoyed the content, and sub to the channel. 85% of the people that watch this channel aren't subs, so I'd appreciate it if you sub. And until next time, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.